I know I said it in the last video, but I love like walking around the streets, finding like little spaces, little nice spots in nature to take videos. Like I'm kind of like sitting in a, not in a tree, but kind of sitting in a tree a little bit at the moment. But yeah, I love doing videos outside and just in like nice, yeah, with nice nature backdrops. Anyway, slightly a side note to what I actually want to talk about. This is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video, but the union that you seek is inner union with yourself, union with you. We think it's about this other person, but that other person is just a reflection of you. And you receive them when you return to that union within self. I love it because it's kind of like the videos that I do almost like link into each other. Like I sort of feel like, yeah, what I'm saying is different, but it's linked to the other videos that I've done today. That what you're looking for is union in the physical with yourself, with God, essentially. Like whether you're religious or not, like that's kind of besides the point. But it's that original sort of relationship, that original harmony, that original integration that you're seeking, that the other mirrors to you. And it's like you're always in, like when people say, oh, like separation is an illusion. Yeah, you're always in relationship with self, but whether that is the divine mirror that you want, in terms of the, like it's like all of it is like a divine mirror in a way, even like the toxic stuff. But what I mean by that is if it reflects that original relationship or not is dependent on the harmony and the peace and the integration and the purification of yourself. And yeah, that's what makes me laugh, like about, you know, when people get divorced and stuff. I'm like, unless you heal, like, you're your problem to some extent. Yeah, it might be your exchange with this other person, but it's like you're going to attract that same problem in someone else. If it's like a soul partnership, like if it's a real, true, authentic partnership, it's like if you don't resolve that within the self, then you're going to attract it in someone else. So what's the fucking point in getting divorced? You might as well go back there and deal with your shit so that you can attract a more whole, more divine mirror, in the sense of, like, it's always a divine mirror, but divine mirror in the sense of a true reflection rather than a reflection of your wounded state. But yeah, what else did I want to say? I also wanted to address the running and chasing a little bit again, and how it's not always this way, but I feel like a lot of the time the masculine is running from presence with his emotions. So as a result, the external feminine will run from him, or will resist him, or will have some sort of toxic exchange with him if he's not in presence with his emotional self and doesn't have a good relationship with that. And then on the opposite side of the coin, if you like, the feminine is often consciously or unconsciously running from her body. She's not in through, you know, past trauma or, you know, unprocessed, unresolved stuff. She's not present in her body, and she's not connected to her divinity in body. So that's what causes the divine masculine to run from her, because she's running from self. Like, it's often not intentional in like a body sense, and what I'm addressing here is like subtle forms of the running and chasing, like, because it's not like, never at any point have I really been intentionally running from my body. Like, I wasn't even conscious of it for a while, but I also couldn't sit in presence in my body, and I was consuming things or doing things to distract me from that presence. So that sort of internal resistance or that internal running then is mirrored to us by the other running. So whether it's presence in your body and sort of being in a pure state in your body, or whether it's presence with your emotions and being sort of able to hold space for them and able to sit in presence with them, that's what then causes the other to run or to resist you, because they're feeling you at they're feeling that sort of inner conflict at like a deeper level, like that perhaps you're not even aware of. Like I said, I wasn't consciously or like meaning to run from my body or run from my emotions before, but it's like that was happening, and then that was then being shown to me by the masculine running from me or resisting me. But yeah, also just quickly before I finish up this video, that's also why it's really important to heal your relationship to self. I feel like I bang this drum like so much, but it's where it's at as far as I'm concerned. And this is also why we're kept in physical separation to some extent, because you need to have such a high level of mastery over yourself and a high level of conscious awareness of your internal dynamic and your internal exchange and your energy and your relationship with self, and that's so that you know how to navigate that when that plays out with the other. And it can get really, that's why I think people have had really toxic relationships with their twin in the physical at times, because they don't have self-mastery and they don't know themselves enough to be able to have the skills and the tools to be able to navigate this in a way that doesn't cause like abusive situations or doesn't cause more trauma, or being able to, like, you don't necessarily have to be Buddha or like Krishna or that to be in a physical partnership with your twin, but you need to be able to communicate effectively. That's actually something that's come up a little bit for me recently. Not necessarily directly, it's been with others that I felt that they've not been communicating effectively with me, and I feel like that's really important in these dynamics as well, being able to sit with the things that come up and be able to have a conversation about it without it being a massive argument or a massive like I said, causing more trauma. Like, you need to be able to like be conscious enough that you can work through that together. So I think we often are like, oh, I just want partnership with this other person, but I think we need to like really pull back on that at times and be like, wait a minute, am I actually ready for this? Because I know, if I look at my own journey, the guy that catalyzed me like 6 years ago, I wanted a relationship with him, like I was trying to like make it happen, but was I ready for it? No, because I wasn't in divine union with myself. It was questionable if I was even in union at all with myself, never mind divine union. I wasn't even in healthy connection with myself back then. So it's actually a blessing in disguise when we don't receive these partnerships in the physical when we think we want them, and rather receive them when we're actually ready to and actually are able to navigate that without further hurting each other. Like, this is like, that's another thing, like this whole journey is supposed to heal the connection to self and heal all the trauma and heal the codependency, not put us into more of that. Which I think can happen if we force these partnerships or if we receive them in the physical before we're ready. I think it's actually a blessing not to at times, and it's actually, like, particularly the feminine, I think, needs to like lean the fuck back at times from trying to force this to happen and realize that it might actually not be the healthiest at that point, depending on your relationship with self, to receive that. Like, it might, like it could be a really difficult relationship to have, and it's better to just focus on yourself and do the work on yourself and come into that harmony within yourself, and then receive the other or the partnership with the other when you're actually equipped and in balance enough for that to be a harmonious relationship, and for you both to be conscious enough that even if stuff does come up, you're able to communicate about it and able to work through it together and able to, you know, understand what each other needs or communicate to the other what you need and stuff. And you can't do that when you still have a lot of distortion and unresolved stuff within you, and you're not consuming high frequency, and you're not and you're not in like a harmonious state within yourself. Like, that then plays out externally. I said this was going to be a shorter video. I seem to have a lot to say today. But yeah, maybe I'll leave it there. If I can help you with anything, just leave a comment after this video or after any of my videos, or you're welcome to send me an email to untameyourflame@gmail.com. and I also do sessions if there's anything that I can help with. And otherwise, just if you really like this content, if you like what I've got to say, and you want my message to get out there more, please like and subscribe. That would really help me to get my videos seen by people. And if you want to know when I've uploaded a new video, if you just click the little bell and click all, I think you can you'll get a notification when a new video has been uploaded. So I think that's me for today. That's about 30-40 minutes of content for you, so I'll leave you with that for a few days, and I'll be back again soon. Have a nice day.